Hey, it's Mr. Gold and Tippy with another ELA Hack. Today, it's all about Central.
All right, now. You told me to be here. I could be making money. What are we doing?
I'm here with my YouTube neighbor trying to record this video about Central Ideas. It's something that my students have a hard time with. Thought I'd make a video.
Well, you should have invited me because I know all about Central Idea.
I thought you were a math teacher.
I'm a teacher. Teacher.
Okay. All right. And you teach, what grade do you teach typically?
3rd, 4th, 5th, you name it. I've done it.
You're a master. You're a master of all. But you ain't teach 6th grade. That's what I've been teaching, 6th grade.
That is true. That
Yeah.
is true.
But you know what would be really good? We got a middle school here, right? We got an elementary school here, all
That's
grades in
right.
elementary school. Why don't we just give them a 6th grade strategy, our middle school strategy, and an elementary school
We're
strategy?
going worldwide, baby.
All right,
Worldwide.
So what's coming up right now is middle school. That's right, middle school. Got the middle school.
Hold on. If I'm going to be here, you're going to have to get this puppet out of here. I'm going to lose a lot of street cred. If this puppet don't get out of here.
No problem. Sorry, Tippy. Okay, so we're going to get... Why do you got food, by the way? This is a video.
Dude, I'm trying to make sure I get my 5 meals in. I'm trying to hit them. I'm trying to get big, give you something to aspire to be like. So
Okay, well, anyway, here comes the Central Idea. What do they call it in elementary school? It's not Central Idea.
main idea.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the main idea.
So Central Idea for middle school, main idea for elementary school. We're going to show you a couple strategies to help you out. Okay, let's take this middle school strategy first. We got this story here. Seals with high-tech hats are collecting climate data in the Antarctic. It is a true story, an info text, and we're going to find the central idea of just this section. How you doing without your glasses?
I'm doing good. I might have to zoom in here and there, but we can make it work.
All right. I want you to take a second, pause the video, and read just this section. Okay, now the middle school strategy is you go through each paragraph and you highlight what you think is the most important sentence in each paragraph. Then you look at all your highlighted sentences and put them together to get a central idea or the central idea. There's a little bit of a difference, and that's coming later in this video. So, which paragraph do we want to do?
Let's zoom in on paragraph 2, start with researchers.
Okay. You have a very good voiceover voice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. If I read this paragraph right here, I think that the most important line is she helped researchers discover that heat stored at the ocean's depths can sometimes get swirled back to the surface by deeply penetrating currents. So I'm going to highlight that and call that my most important sentence. What do you think of that?
I think it's good, but I also think that you're a teacher and you have a slanted advantage. So I'm going to push you to be a middle school student who did not choose that. So let's say that they choose the next sentence.
So this one here, researchers have known that these currents can ferry heat downward into the ocean's interior.
That's the one.
Okay, so that is somewhat important, but really what we got to think about here for central idea is how does the line that we highlight, that we say is most important in each paragraph, how does it further develop the title of the piece or the excerpt? Seals with high-tech hats are collecting climate data in the Antarctic. So here we see that she, meaning this fearless female seal, the real MVP, she helped researchers discover that heat stored at ocean's depths can sometimes get swirled back up to the surface by some deeply penetrating currents. So this sentence is the one in this paragraph that best supports that title.
Okay, I can understand. It gives a little bit more information.
Yes.
All right, let's try mine then. So researchers have known that those currents can ferry heat downward into the ocean's interior. Okay, so I can see it doesn't mention the seal at all. It kind of talks about researchers. And even though it gives a little bit on climate change, it's not better than the one that you chose. It's hard to admit, but I admit.
1 for Mr. Gold, 2 for this weird guy sitting next to me. Or 0 for this weird guy sitting next to me. All right, so we're going to do, through the magic of YouTube, we're going to highlight all of the important sentences in this video. Okay, so now we have all of the important sentences in each of the four, as 5 paragraphs, I guess, but that's more of a hook, so I don't really count that one. So each of the important sentences of the first four paragraphs in this article have been chosen. Now what we have to do for the middle school strategy is look at everything we highlighted and combine it for a central idea. So a central idea here. The central idea is sometimes going to sound like a theme, but a central idea is going to sound more like a sentence summary. So do you want to come up with the or A right now?
Let's come up with A.
All right. So a central idea might be researchers are using seals to help figure out stuff about the Earth's climate.
All right, Mr. Gold, come on now. First, I cannot allow you to say stuff. I'm going to push you a little deeper. You cannot just say stuff. Researchers are using seals to do what?
To find out important what would be a good word?
Yeah, I like this.
To find out important information about the Earth's climate.
I like it. I like you climbed yourself out of the pit.
Thank you. Now, if you need a little more help with central idea in the middle school, I have a central idea cheat sheet that I give my students, and here it is right now. So there it is, central idea for middle school. And that's Mr. Gold with another.
All right. Because you got my kids watching, my 3rd through 6th watching. Well, we'll give you 6 technically in middle school, but they're bored. They have no idea. They're like, "What is this, Mr. Gibson?" Okay, that's where we're getting to, but we got to take some baby steps. So we're gonna bring it down a little bit. We're not gonna make it easy, but we're gonna bring it to. Hey, this. Unless we're gonna change his name to Timmy 2 letters or something, this guy's gotta go. Okay. Now let's go to elementary school and play with some strategies that we will use with our text, and you can kind of see how we're gonna work our way up to middle school. Of course, you give me the sad text.
Yeah.
That's the one we have to go through.
Yeah, I gotta make myself look good. This video is my channel.
Well, since you want to give it to me, I'm gonna ask you some questions before we even jump in this
I
text.
had to work for this, but okay.
Before we even jump in here, I just want you to look through these illustrations. Well, not illustrations. I guess they're photos.
They'd be photos.
Look through these.
Coming from a photographer, you'd think you understand that.
Look through these photos.
Before Charleston Photography, check it out now.
And I want you to tell me, what do you think this text is going to be about?
All right, this is a good strategy. I might use this in middle school. Well, looks like a dog in a hospital. Let's see if there's more dogs in a hospital. Oh, that's pretty cute there. What do you think their names are?
You're a little
Okay. Boy, I'd love to have you as a teacher. All right, this is dog in a hospital, and she looks maybe sick, but those dogs look like they're helping them somehow, those patients.
Okay, so if you had to make a prediction right now, one sentence or a phrase, what do you think this would be about?
Dogs helping people in a hospital.
Okay, so we're just going to look through this first section, and we're going to see how close you are to your prediction, or if you're completely far away from it.
Listen, I'm not going to be far away from it.
Okay, we'll see. Let's ask our YouTube neighbor. Let's give them some time to read, see what they come up with.
All right, so go ahead and pause the video and read this section.
All right, so in elementary school, I would ask each student, because a lot of this is about confidence, and so I want them to just...
And you know what they say? Confidence can wear anything.
It's true. It can wear anything.
Including central ideas.
So we're going to start with this first paragraph, and Mr. Gold, I just want you to tell me what words is the author repeating, because usually those are important.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. We got jobs. I think I saw that one more time. Job right there. Looks like job.
We have job,
and we said the prediction was that the dogs have the job in the hospital.
Have a job in the hospital. So far you're warm. We're gonna see. A lot of times we can push them to bring in help with job as like a synonym term, but we have job. And so now we're going to go a little bit deeper and ask those who, what, when, where, how questions, like what is their job? Why is this their job? Where do they go for their job? And we're trying to go a little bit deeper into the text, that same paragraph, and see if we can answer it.
Seems like a lot of work to help me find a central idea.
Yeah, but it's baby steps. We're scaffolding up. We're giving them a little couple tools before they get to middle school. You just throw them in the deep end.
All right, because they're going to be in the deep end of my class. Better learn how to swim.
All right, so we have... What's that?
Yeah, you want me to highlight it?
Yeah, let's highlight it. So these are kind of like flares that narrow the student back in to see what does the detail say now around this word. So each has an important job. Okay, cool. They have jobs at Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. That answers the where their jobs are. Their badges include their name, photo, and job title. That gives a little bit more of what, I guess, or how. But at least we answer the where they work. And so we would move on to the next paragraph.
Okay.
All right, so again, what words do you see repeated here?
Animals repeated.
Okay. And what is the author trying to tell us about animals?
They're trained to comfort and calm people.
Okay, animals are trained. Let's see, animal therapy. So we could maybe group those together. And so we're trying to again answer how, what, when, where, how, or why about animals or animal therapy.
Who, what, when, where, why,
Who,
how.
what, when, where.
You said how twice.
I did.
Just here to correct your mistakes.
Man, you sound like my gifted students. So we learned from this paragraph their job, what their job is. It's animal therapy. And we learned what animal therapy is when dogs or other animals are trained. Now we're getting a little bit more in depth with our central message, main idea in the elementary. And we're slowly just adding more and more details to that statement.
Okay, so let's say our YouTube neighbor here, gone through the whole section, came up with the who, what, when, where, why, and how for this section, found the repeated words, comes up with a central idea, and let's say, well, tell you what, pause the video, and you come up with what you think this weird guy sitting next to me wants you to come up with as a central idea. Okay, so let's say that the central idea that our YouTube neighbor here came up with was dogs help out at children's hospitals to make people feel better.
I'll say it's pretty in depth. I would of course push. You know, I like to push people.
Yeah.
I would maybe push. I would maybe push using some academic vocabulary in the text.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they are answering the question. They're telling me where the dog's job is, what the dog's job is, and I feel like that's a good central idea or main idea that could be supported through the text.
So let's pretend it's a wrong answer, like dogs have jobs. What would you say to a student that comes up with dogs have jobs?
I tell them that it's technically not wrong. They can support it through the text, but I would just ask more who, what, when, where, how questions. Did I get all those that time?
I think so.
Okay, I would ask more of those questions so that they could give a main idea that was more in depth, more meaty.
Man, I'm glad we got that elementary school strategy. Thanks for coming in today. So now we got elementary school, we got middle school. I think our YouTube neighbor has successfully been...
Speaking of our YouTube neighbor, our neighbor has not been properly introduced.
To you?
To me.
Sorry, this is Mr. Gibson, and we said that he taught 7 years. He also teaches a little college on the side. Where do you teach college?
Middle Tennessee State University. Go Raiders.
Okay, is that a successful enough introduction to the YouTube neighbor?
It'll suffice for now.
All right, are you ready to close this out?
I'm ready to close it.
All right, this is Mr. Gold
and Mr. Gibson
with another ELA Hack. Okay.